So we've looked at creating client profiles. The next thing I want to do is run you through the different event types that you get out of the box with DiggDawg. Okay, so once you're on your diary view for both either the web or mobile app, in the web app you would select Add New. And I'm going to be focusing on the core events that DiggDawg offers. On the mobile app, you can get to the events by clicking the plus icon in the mobile app, and that'll bring up all the different kind of events you can add. Okay, so let's start looking at these one at a time. So I'm going to start off with walks, a single one-off walk if you need something bespoke. Now, typically you wouldn't use this event type if you were going to be mapping it every single day. This is more for bespoke walks that you might not do every other day. So you can define the start date, the start time, the end time, change a colour, and add any particular notes to the walk. Assigning clients is pretty straightforward. You just select your clients. You can amend things like the charge, have they paid, you can change the charge, and you can add any particular notes for that dog on the event. Once I'm happy, I'm going to click create event. And that is us added our first walk. You can see that's been reflected in the mobile app as well. So next we're going to look at daycare. So daycare, quite similar to walks, but what it does is it maps the default daycare charge that you assign when you first create a profile. So I'm going to select Daisy and Max for this. And again, same, it's very similar to the walk event. You've got a date, a start time, and end time, and you can customize it and customize the event color and add any notes, etc. So I'm just going to click create event. Okay, so we've added a walk and now we have added a daycare event. Next one I want to focus on is pet care. So pet care is what you would use for overnight stays, and you know, if you have clients coming to stay for a week or so, this is what I would recommend you use for managing your boarding events. So this is now different. This is a multi-day event. You will manage the start date and time as well as the end date and time. So I'm just going to select a start date and an end date. And there's a few options here where you can select charging per night, an additional charge which you might want to use for a deposit. You can define the event color like we have for previous events, and then add any notes or mark if you're sitting at the client's address or not. So I'm going to select Daisy and Max for this, and once I'm happy, I'm going to click create event. So you can see here now that we've mapped our first pet care / boarding event to our calendar. Finally, for any kind of event that you can't really use a core DiggDawg event for, what you can do is create a custom event which gives you a bit more flexibility. So in this you can define everything from the title of the walk to the start date, the end date. You can set the number of time slots as well. So let's say we'll do puppy visits, and we'll just change a colour. So I've got the start date of the 2nd of June, and I will go for the 4th of June. And I will select my time slots. And then I will select Shiloh. Just to add a quick note. Okay, so you can see here I've mapped a title, a start date and end date. I've mapped 2 time slots, and I've put Shiloh on that event. So now I'm going to click create event. All right, so now you'll see that for every day that the custom event is mapped to, you'll see that we've got 2 events, one for each time. So if you remember, the start time was 9 o'clock and 1 o'clock, and it will also map over a number of days as well. All right, so that is pretty much it for the core events that DiggDawg offers out the box. We're going to talk a bit more about services and repeat events in future videos. There's one last thing I want to show you in this video. Once you have, say, created a walk, I'm going to jump into the mobile app for this. I just want to show you the pick up and drop off mode. So a lot of my users requested the ability to just mark when they had collected and dropped off their clients. So in the mobile app, if you click pick up and drop off, When you have collected your dogs, you can simply tap collected, and you'll see here that it goes green. And when you have returned a dog home, and you want to just mark that, again, click the returned icon, and you'll see here that it goes blue. Now this is reflected in the dashboard. I'm just going to save that very quickly. Fine, I'll go to the dashboard, turn on my preferences for showing the pickup and drop off. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to quickly change this walk to 2nd of June. Sorry, I'm going to change this walk to the 8th of June, just so it appears on the dashboard and it's not a past event. There we go. So you see here that when I have marked a dog is picked up or dropped off, you can see the coloured icons here is amber and green to show that they've been picked up and dropped off as well. Again, you can customize a few different options on the dashboard. If you go to admin and then preferences. So I've just enabled show pickup and drop off icons. Some users might not use this feature, which is why I made it a preference. You can also do things like show the completed state for when you've marked an event as complete. So you can do that from the dashboard just by double tapping the event, and you see here that the tick complete. And again, a lot of my users ask for some kind of functionality just to mark in their diaries that they had completed that walk and it was done. So it's definitely one for the completionists. All right, so that is it for walking through the event types. And we'll continue looking at what we can do with repeat walks and services in future videos.